if you can explain what is the crack?
Hey, the crack.
How can I have the crack? What's the crack?
What is the crack? You are the crack.
Before we get into JJ Laap's D3 to NFL story, I want to tell you about something that can take your investing from D3 to professional level performance. I want to talk to you about our presenting sponsor, our first presenting sponsor, Dub. All Audio Crack listeners, crackheads, please check out this app. If it wasn't for them, this show might not be going on right now. So check it out. Dub is like eBay for investing. They built a marketplace where you can copy the investments of great traders or be the trader who gets copied. It's a democratization of access to hedge funds. You usually need millions and millions of dollars for some of these hedge funds to even take you as a client and give the returns that are not available to the public. With Dub, you can copy some of these same professionals and get some of the same yields that they get with much smaller amounts of money. Their portfolio is based on politicians, insiders, and hedge funds. Users have built portfolios that track their public trade filings. One of the top performers is the Pelosi portfolio. It's up over 70% this year. Their portfolio is built up by up-and-coming traders. Users have also built portfolios trading tons of unique strategies. Some of them are beating Pelosi and now have thousands of copiers. Best part is no one can fake performances. That's because this is the first regulated copy trading platform. The company is regulated. Dub Capital is an SEC registered investment advisor. That is not the Southeastern Conference. That is the Securities and Exchange Commission. And Dub Financial is a broker dealer, a member of FINRA, just like Fidelity or Schwab. It is also SIPC insured up to $500K US American dollars. Trades can happen automatically. So you put the money in, you say you want to copy a specific investor, and then you can leave it in there. You don't have to check the stock market every day. You don't have to check your holdings if you don't want, and they make all the trades for you, completely copying whatever they're putting out there. So you kind of just have your own personal money manager that you just can put your money into and not think about it. That's like what all the super rich people do. And now you have access to it with Dub. Yeah. So if you want to get in on the action, to get in on the, some of the people who, work in government, work on Wall Street, and they do it every day, go to my link to download dubapp.com-billy. That is dubapp.com-billy. Sign up for a 1-week free trial of Dub, cancel at any time, and invite friends and get $20 each. You get $20, your friend gets $20. If you have a group of 10, that's $200 for everyone involved. You can literally, however many friends you have, big group chats, get involved. Barstool Sports is a paid promoter for Dub and receives compensation for the promotion of its services. This is not investment advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Barstool Sports is a paid promoter for Dub and receives compensation for the promotions of its services. Go to my link to download, dubapp.com-billy. And now for the amazing story of JJ Laap. Welcome back to Audio Crack. We have an amazing, very special guest today, a guy with a story that's close to my heart, a D3 national champion who got an invite to an NFL camp. He had an amazing camp, in my opinion, an amazing preseason. He's a D3 national champion. As I said, wide receiver, JJ Laap, who is on the LA Rams. He's just recently gotten back after unfortunately being cut, but I don't think this is the end of your story. If anything, I think this is just the beginning of your story. JJ, welcome to Audio Crack. Pleasure to have you.
Man, I mean, it's an honor to be here for sure. I'm glad to be here with you. This is it's my first podcast that I'm doing, so I'm excited.
So Cortland Red Dragons, they are a football D3 football team up in upstate New York. A lot of guys I know who I played with actually went and played at Cortland. It's like a D3 powerhouse in upstate New York, I'd say, in the region.
Upstate New York, yeah. It's 30 minutes south of Syracuse.
One of the dance partners in Cortica, which is the Cortland Ithaca, they call it so there's two, what they call biggest little games in America.
The biggest little game in the nation. Yeah.
In the nation.
The Cortica Jug.
Well, I also played in what we called the biggest small game in America, which was Williams Amherst. So like we kind of have beef on that.
I know you're also a D3 guy.
Also a D3 guy. Williams Amherst is we got on ESPN.
That's where you're at. Williams Amherst.
Yeah.
So where's that at?
Northwest Mass.
Northwest Massachusetts. Okay.
So you're a Long Island guy.
Yeah.
Did you play with any upstate New York guys and like, upstate New York football is so trash that Long Island has their own championships? Because you guys don't play up in the Carrier Dome, do you?
No, Long Island. And I know that's like a big discussion with like a lot of Long Island guys saying like, why are we not able to compete for a state championship? Like I know a lot of guys in high school, that was always like a big thing. It's all the biggest thing. The state championship to Long Island guys is the Long Island championship.
Yeah.
So you would think, I would hope sometime in the future, I know there's been like discussions in the works about this being a possibility, but have Long Island included in that discussion and being able to compete for a state championship. Whoever wins the Long Island championship, somehow they're in the playoff or whatever. Because we are New York State, not like our own state. I know a lot of times people on Long Island, we basically kind of are our own little.
It's actually
own little state, but
one of the most unique things in America. I don't think there's any other place in America that can't compete for a state championship. And it's interesting. But the thing is, Long Island would always win. That's why it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
you gotta give those boys upstate a little love. Like the guys, like
I know that might stir up a little controversy, but
it's true. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Imagine being from like Niagara, New York, and like you're in a high school of 2000, and you know you like get to the state championship in the Carrier Dome, and it's like the biggest thing in your life, and then like you know you just get washed by some Long Island team,
mollywopped by
like
Long Island team.
Like you get like there's probably what are the best schools that are like 2,000 kids, like they probably compete like how like Northport.
Yeah,
no, I think they're pretty.
Like my
big.
Graduating class, like at Ward Melville High School.
Yeah,
used to talk it. I think my like we had a big graduating class. I want to say it was upwards of at least like 800 people in like just our grade alone. So
yeah, I think there's more people in Long Island than there is north of Westchester County.
So we definitely had plenty of talent to pick from.
Yeah,
but what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong though. I played obviously at Cortland. First off, hold up. Let me just shout out Cortland.
Ask you, yeah.
Shout out Cortland. C-State, man, on top forever. Dude, Cortland is just, man, obviously holds a special place in my heart. Being there all those years helped shape me into the guy I am today, helped get me to where I am today. And man, there's something like, regardless of division, D3, D2, D1, NIAIA, FCS, AA, FBS, whatever, I don't care. Regardless of division, Cortland Athletics as an athletic program as a whole, one of the best athletic programs in the country. And I can say that with confidence. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says.
Go to Cortland.
Cortland. Look at all of our athletic programs, not just football, national champions on every sport, conference champions. Man, just the level of play and the level of just prestige like at Cortland, just from top down, the athletic program as a whole, I would say in general, all sports. Shout out Cortland, man.
Isn't it like what's the most done degree there? Isn't it like phys ed?
Phys ed is probably the majority.
So the joke about Cortland is that like every gym teacher in New York State went to Cortland. There's that part. So a lot of athletes.
A high percentage.
Probably. I mean, how many of your coaches in high school went to Cortland?
I don't think any.
Okay.
I don't think any.
Well, in upstate New York, there's a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
But in like I had like 2 college football coaches that went to Cortland. So like you go to Cortland and be a coach, or you know, great athletic program, great coaching. But my question is, you got to the, you know, whatever they say, you got to an NFL camp. You got to the NFL.
I signed a contract.
You signed a contract.
Do
you mind if
as an undrafted free agent? I didn't just get invited to a camp.
Yeah.
I was on the roster. I was on the team.
Yeah.
And I belong there.
Yeah. You absolutely.
Into that discussion.
Like no matter what, no one can take that away from you. Is this contract that I'm looking at like?
Do you see it online? Yeah,
it's legit.
That is I mean, obviously, I've been released.
So how much were you able to keep?
Well, here's the thing. That contract is separate from I don't know what details I can get into and what I can exactly. So
okay, don't worry.
No. I'm treading light waters. I think I can tread a little bit, but let's just say this: the contract. Obviously, while I was there for OTAs back in the spring, and I'm there, I just get there, off the plane at LAX, right? Get to the whole onboarding process with all the rookies and everything. You're there, like I'm employed there. I'm a Los Angeles Ram. Like I'm making money. I'm playing football.
Sweet,
living the dream.
So is it like a paycheck? Do they pay you on the first and the 15th?
It's like a weekly. When I was there for OTAs, it was like a bi-weekly kind of a thing.
Oh, sweet.
So every 2 weeks you get a certain amount of money. that isn't necessarily associated with that contract and the numbers you see on the screen.
Oh,
But you are being compensated in a nice fashion. As someone who's never really had I worked valet like one summer and I made a decent.
You
amount
were
of
doing
tips
football
out in the
during summer.
Hamptons, but I was grinding. I was training to get to this level.
Yeah. So like, what's that check look like?
It's pretty nice for someone like me,
Yeah.
23-year-old. Like I'm a young guy. I've never really like I said, I worked valet one summer in the Hamptons, which was a pretty lucrative.
You're working on tips though.
Pretty lucrative.
You're getting a lot of cash.
But like in a wealthy, affluent place like the Hamptons.
Montauk, where are you valuing out of?
Where was Sagaponack?
Oh, Sag Harbor.
Out east on Long Island, kind of by like East Hampton, West Hampton.
Yeah.
I want to say in that area. Working a couple venues there. And for this company, Gold Coast Valet. Shout out. Great
valet company.
No, but what
was that direct deposit like, that first one?
The first one, you want like an actual money?
Yeah. Just like
nothing crazy. I mean, like within like the 2 weeks, it was like 1,500.
Okay, that's fine.
So like shit for me, I would do it for free. So it's like,
I mean, out of college,
seeing that it's dope,
absolutely,
and stacking that through weeks,
and you don't have to pay for anything.
No, everything,
no rent,
paying for you to be up in a hotel, food, everything, literally just basically stacking bread, playing football.
Yeah.
Just living the dream.
That's
basically.
awesome.
But also, and training camp was a different story. You get paid a little bit more during training camp.
Oh.
But also the rookies get the short end of the stick in that way.
Do they make you buy dinner?
They don't get no. Oh, we can get into dinner.
We'll get.
I had a nice little dinner with the receivers at. We can get into that.
Let's get back to high school. What was recruiting like for you? How did you end up in D3? Look, we saw you have NFL talent.
Yes.
And you were coming out of high school. What were you, like a late bloomer? Like how fast of a 40 did you run out of high school?
Well, there was a couple different factors I would say, but I would say I was in high school. I was definitely in the 4.5s.
Oh, nice.
4.5, which is for high school.
I was slow as fuck.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
And more so recently, at my pro day, I ran a 4.57, but we can also get into another discussion with that. I was running on a torn tendon after the national championship.
Oh,
talk about that in a little bit if you want, but let me not get off track here. With high school and recruiting, you're saying how I ended up at Cortland, basically. I guess, I wasn't necessarily a late bloomer, but my junior year of high school, 11th grade, I was having a great season, cooking up. I was a starter my junior year of high school. At one point, I was leading the island in receiving yards and touchdowns. This was like at the halfway point of the season. I don't know if you know Jeremy Ruckert.
Yes.
The New York Jets tight end.
Yes.
New York Jets tight end, went to Ohio State, great player, great, and freak out of Lindenhurst on Long Island.
Yeah.
So I remember like when I was a junior in high school, it was his senior year at Lindenhurst. I think that year they went on to win the Long Island championship. Those guys, the Bulldogs, I would say Lindenhurst Bulldogs. And he carried them basically.
Yeah.
I remember at one of his games at William Floyd, me and a couple of the guys on our team at War Melville, we went to see like, let's go watch these guys. It's a great matchup.
Yeah.
And, he did his thing. Like looks like a boy, a man amongst boys out there, basically 6'6", whatever, 200.
Yeah, dude.
Athletic specimen, like amazing. But what was my point? Oh, up to that point in the season, my junior year of high school, I was leading I had more yards in it, more touchdowns, whatever. Nothing against him, whatever. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I was at that level, even my junior year of high school. Strained my hamstring, like completely kind of like tear it up a little bit my junior year.
Damn.
At the halfway point of the season. So that kind of eliminated my junior high school season just like that early. I worked my way back until the first round of the playoffs that year, my junior year, against Walt Whitman. And I was able to play, did good or whatever. But basically that kind of just like that injury,
it kills your tape.
Kind of negated my junior year. Basically I had all this momentum. It kills your tape. Exactly. Yeah. So if I were to have that junior year of tape along with my senior year, like my senior year, that's where I took off. I was like Travis Hunter, kind of like on both sides of the ball.
Did you have any D1 offers?
I had a couple D1 offers. Stony Brook, right there, hometown kid right there. But it wasn't necessarily like a scholarship offer. It was kind of like they gave me the whole walk-on deal. Yeah. And Villanova came to see me. Wagner came to see me. LIU Post was the one they had just switched over to Division I at that time.
Okay.
And they were the one Division I program that offered me a scholarship.
Yeah, they
pretty good scholarship.
So you're 2 years younger than me. I was class of 2017. You're 2019?
2019.
Yeah, so LIU, they recruited me when they weren't D1. So that's funny.
When they were running D2. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, did you get any interest from like, your father played quarterback for University of Albany, correct?
Yeah, he did.
Did they give you any looks?
Albany had come to see me. One of the guys came to recruit me.
Yeah.
But that was about it, really. Another kind of like possible walk-on offer kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, back in the day, that was when they were also D3 Albany.
Oh, wow.
That was when they were running the triple option.
Yeah, that's wild. So that's where the speed comes from, an option quarterback?
I don't know if the speed comes from my dad. He'd be the first to tell you. He doesn't like the speed. Maybe the speed comes from my mom, but
yeah. Buffalo. The only serious looks I had was like Buffalo and U-Albany.
In terms
Those
of D1 looks?
Yeah. I mean, Fordham was like maybe, and then like the Ivies, they basically, I really wanted to play in the Ivy League.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the grades for it, but it just never worked out because like they recruit nationwide.
Yeah.
So it's just like some backup in California is going to start a quarterback.
Right.
That type shit.
That kind of just reminded me, like you're speaking about the grades, right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the thing that kind of bottlenecked me. Not going to lie. Like in high school, was the grades.
Yeah.
Was there like not really.
Where any school's like, yo, if you get a.
Oh, like all the Ivies came, but like as soon as like the grades were discussion, then it was kind of like tailored off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I've been preaching to like my little brother, especially the 13-year-old little
study.
brother. And not even the study. Like I was always a guy, bro. School kind of comes easy to me. Like I just never had the work ethic necessarily. Like I was bullshitting, like completely like bullshitting.
Did you even like try on the standardized test?
I mean, I tried.
Yeah,
I didn't do any sort of preparation, no tutors, no nothing.
Dude.
I got like 1130 on my SAT. I never went to like any prep, any nothing. Like,
hey, dude, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're on a different path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
bro, I'm on this path that God has put me on. And man, I'm gonna ride it. I'm enjoying it. Dude. I'm enjoying it.
So you get to Cortland. What was the Cortland? So that conference, who's it? Ithaca, Cortland. Who else in that conference?
That's another. No, believe it or not, Ithaca's not actually in our conference.
You're right. Yeah.
Ithaca's part of the Liberty League.
Yeah.
Or the Empire 8.
Yes.
Cortland's in the Empire 8 with like Brockport, St. John Fisher, Hartwick.
Yeah.
Like some of those schools.
Cortland wins that league usually every year, right?
Yeah, definitely always competitive in that league every single year. When I was a freshman though, like Brockport was kind of like Brockport was the premier kind of team. It was us and Brockport. I think like Brockport had won the conference championship past couple years before, but as soon as and even my freshman year, Brockport won the conference that year.
Nice. So our security guard's son actually played against you, and he
for real?
Yeah, he played for I'm blanking. Apparently Cortland was driving at the end of the game 2 years ago and he caught the game sealing interception. What do you remember that game?
Wait, say it again.
So like it was the end of the game. Cortland was driving and then he caught the game sealing interception.
Did he play at Brockport?
I think he might have played for Brockport.
Or was it Brockport? I got to know because I think that might have been my freshman year. That was like the conference championship.
Yeah.
About my freshman year.
That's you guys got beat when you were driving to win the game.
Did it go into overtime? You don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it was like, I forget, but we'll talk to him after this, but great guy. Shout out Pat. But yeah, so you get to Cortland, when did it start to get to the point where like, hey, I can go to the NFL?
That's a long, I could talk about that for
was it like
years, but
freshman year? I
would say this. No. I would say this. Not even freshman year of college. When I was in high school, I knew I could go to the NFL and I knew I was going to go to the NFL.
Hell yeah.
Like 100%. I could say confidently since probably I was in 10th grade, my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
There wasn't, before it happened, there wasn't a singular day that went by in my entire existence in my life where I did not think about making it to the NFL and playing in the NFL. Like, and that's what made it happen. Like for real, like I'm not even lying. Every single day that went by since I was a 10th grader in high school, I thought like that was, I woke up and I
You just
like,
you envisioned it.
envisioned it every single day, like
Wow.
to the point where it was like,
You manifested it.
like people
it's
talk
real.
about that. It is
McGregor, I believe it 1,000%.
100%. I'm losing my train of thought, but no, let me get back into this. Like every single day, and there wasn't like a day that went by where I didn't think to myself, I was like, all right, like I just knew like I had to take a step in that direction.
Yeah.
Like it's not like obviously you're just gonna one day and be like it's that old thing, like
Well, it's just-
1.1% better, a little
Yeah.
bit better each day. And every single day, if I laid my head on that pillow and I knew I did something that is gonna get me there, like I knew
Dude, that's the mentality.
ultimately, like that's the mentality.
I gave up.
Exactly.
I gave up like halfway through my junior year. I was like, I'm not going to the NFL. I'm just going
Yeah.
to try to get a good education. That's the difference.
like you said with that McGregor mentality though,
Yeah.
like anyone who's successful in any sort of like endeavor in life, like I mean there's those circumstances like people chalk it up to luck, like whatever, fate, whatever, but anyone who's successful in business or athletics or whatever avenue it is, ultimately like it doesn't happen on accident.
Right.
Like I'm a believer, you probably heard it before, like you don't get what you want, like you get what you are. Like you
Yeah.
don't attract what you want in life, you attract like whatever you are in life. And anyone who's been successful in any sort of endeavor has become that person before they've gotten that success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always knew like I had the talent, the work ethic, and the ability as a football player. And with my athleticism, I knew I could be an NFL caliber player.
Mhm.
And I knew every day if I put in that work and kept trending towards that it was inevitable. I kind of had the faith that if I just kept pedaling the bike, like
Yeah.
God, the universe, whatever, will steer my course
Yeah.
and open pathways for me. And
Dude,
man, it's happened.
you know, if you're listening to this right now and you're a father, show this to your kids, that whole speech. No, honestly, that's very inspirational. I wish I had more of that mentality when it came to, you know, many things in life,
Mm.
but like, that's how you get there.
Mm.
Like you just have to have that, you know, that craze, that obsession. What was the switch from 9th to 10th grade to put you there where you're like, I like playing football too. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going to do everything I can every day.
Well, this is another funny story from 9th to 10th grade. My 9th grade, I didn't actually play JV football that year. Right?
What
I
happened?
wasn't able to play football that season, school football. Right before the season has started in the summer,
Uh-huh.
hanging out with some of my boys at my boy's house,
Yeah.
tossing the football around. My boy Ray Grabowski, shout out.
Yeah.
We're just whatever joking around. He tackles me. Like I'm a little skinny frail kid at the time, like not resilient at all. It tackles me. I come down to the ground. Freaking like my shoulder pops. Like my shoulder pops
Oh,
out of its
damn.
socket. Busts up my shoulder, like separated my AC joint and everything.
Damn.
I'm like on the ground, like crying.
So you're one of these
They're
guys-
like, yo, relax, Jay. I'm like, nah, like my shoulder's messed up. I had to go to the hospital. I had to put it back in place, like all this.
Oh.
So I wasn't able to play JV football that year in 9th grade. So I rehabbed that injury and everything, you know, get it healed up, whatever. And in that time when I wasn't able to play football, like obviously football was always like my main kind of sport.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing basketball, lacrosse, all those sports.
Yeah.
Athlete, you know?
Yeah.
That's when I fell in love with the gym aspect and like the weight room,
Yeah.
all that. And that's when I kind of started like my weight room journey,
Long Island has
and
a
nutrition and all that.
great lifting culture.
Yeah.
It's a very great place.
Yeah.
You know, the culture of lifting in Long Island is very deeply ingrained.
Oh yeah.
just getting swole.
Yeah.
I mean, like it goes along. You know,
Gym tan
sometimes
laundry, baby. I mean, that's Jersey, I guess. That's
no.
Shore.
Jersey, Long
But
Island.
Long Island is very, yeah.
No,
very
Long Island
similar.
is way more intense than Jersey in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of the people from the Jersey Shore are actually from Long Island, like from that show. But like the mentality of just like, they call it flids. Flids, you've heard that.
Mhm.
You know, people who know, but like part of that culture is just getting swole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we even have, you know, Stu Finer. He's a Long Island guy
Stu Finer,
from
bro.
Farmingville.
Bro, he's great.
Dude,
great. I
oh, dude,
love
I wish
his
he was
videos.
here today. I'd introduce you.
Dude.
He's even fucking lifting.
He's around here sometimes?
Dude, yeah, he's here all the time.
Bro.
How do you know?
Ready to roll, ready to roll.
Dude, yeah, he's the fucking man. He's even lifting out. He's doing a little juice against the wall.
Doing a little TRT, bro. No problem with that. As your testosterone decreases as you get older, maybe do a little TRT. It's natural. Get into it in natural ranges.
By law, every Long Island man at 40 has to get on TRT.
I mean, maybe everyone should.
No,
I don't know, man. But like I was saying, to get back into the what changed from 9th to 10th grade, get back into that whole discussion of, I kind of fell in love with like the weight room and all that.
Yeah.
Started reading up on all these articles,
creatine,
like, watching like YouTube video, Athlete X. I don't know if you know that YouTuber.
Yeah.
All these YouTubers, whatever, like, how to get bigger, faster, stronger, basically. Kind of like fell in love with that whole year. I started lifting with my cousin Joe, going with my dad a little bit at like the local LA Fitness. And then from there, like, I just knew like how, like, kind of fell in love with that. Like, the gym was kind of like it was kind of like a microcosm for life.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm putting in this work right now. When I first started, bro, I could barely bench the bar.
Yeah.
Like, I was always like super small. Like, if I didn't put in the work all these years, I would not look like the way I look right now. Like, I would.
No, absolutely.
Like, absolutely not. So it being like a microcosm for life, like I literally saw in the gym, I was like, you get in, you get out what you put in, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you get what you give.
Yeah.
It's like a fundamental law of the universe. Like,
yeah, dude, preservation of mass.
Mass equals MC squared.
Yeah,
like, come on.
effort plus calories equals mass.
Equals gains.
Yes. Dude, that's awesome. But so going through high school, and as we talked about, your mentality, you weren't lucky.
No.
Like throughout high school, from the sounds of it, 9th grade, no season, 11th grade, half a season or less.
Well, I could continue this.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Like,
no.
Yeah.
Your story.
So yeah, that year, right, I learned like those great lessons. I started putting in the work, and football is one of those sports, like, you got to put in the work year round.
Yeah.
And way more than just like being on the field playing. Like, you played in high school. Like, like you got to be in the weight room. You got to be training and speed training and all that. And then
you can't half-ass football, or like you can die.
Exactly. No, actually,
like legit. Like I miss that like adrenaline in my life every day because it made me work harder.
Yeah.
Like I like literally was like, yo,
survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I might get fucking suplexed if I don't put on 60 pounds the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Low key did that sophomore to junior year.
Yes, sir.
Flex.
Yes, sir.
Just put it in there. It was more like 50 pounds. I was like 150 pounds sophomore year. Then I got to 200 junior year. And then I got a little too big senior year, but a little too fat. I was eating too much. I was a quarterback, so I wasn't running that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, hey, dude, let's put on as much mass as we can.
Mm.
But it was sick. It was like, I miss that grind in my life where it's just like, I'm preparing for something constantly.
Yeah.
Like the fall rolls around, like this time of year, like my body's low key tweaking because I'm like, yo, I need to be lifting. I need to be ready for this thing. But like, I'm just lifting to stay swole kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still in it.
Yeah.
But that stay ready mentality is just something that I miss. I'm like,
right.
So now I put this thing in my head where there's a man in the cave. You ever heard the man in the cave thing?
The Plato's allegory?
No. I think that there's a man.
A whole different.
There's a man in a cave with no running water, and he sleeps on rocks. And he doesn't even have a pillow, and he's like training to kill you.
Mm.
And one day you're gonna meet that man in the cave. You don't know where he's coming from, like, but there's someone out there who's trained the day that you get into hand-to-hand combat. And you better be ready. Yeah. So I just make that up in my head. So that's what I'm training for.
Hell yeah.
Man,
yeah,
I don't know. You don't know what that dude.
We're in the cave right now, bro. We're in the cave right now.
Oh shit, dude.
Actually, dude. It's one of those, like, you're saying basically like stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. No, but so, you season junior year gets cut short. Senior year, you ball out senior year?
We can get to my senior year.
Yeah,
I balled out my senior year. Let me just fill in the gaps real quick. So yeah, that obviously fell in love with the weight room, all that, 9th grade. Summer came up, summer workouts, all that, before my 10th grade season, which I would still technically be on JV or whatever. Basically, with all those workouts, like, I was being asked to come up to varsity in 10th grade to go play with the 11th and 12th graders, all that, when I was a 10th grader. Talked about it with my dad, because I was going, like, we had 7-on-7s with the varsity and all that, all little like group workouts, practices, and I'm balling out against these guys. And varsity coach at the time, Chris Boltrek,
I give a shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Wanted me to come up to varsity, basically. But at that point, we had already had a couple like great athletes at the time, like Don Pryor, Johnny Korpeck, Wes Manning, quarterback, Andrew McKenna, like those guys, like they were balling. They were already seniors, like so I knew I was like, all right, like I could probably come up as a 10th grader and play, but like maybe I won't get as many opportunities as I would like to. So I'm gonna and I didn't get to play my JV ball the year before, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay on JV. I appreciate the offer. Stay on JV, ball out, all that, get that game experience that was much needed. And the weight room and all that definitely helped out big time. So then, 11th grade, like I said, I got hurt that one year, but I was trending very upwards. And then let's get into the senior year. The senior year was definitely where it took off big time.
Yeah. I mean, D3 coaches, they like, a lot of the times they like try to get guys who they think are going to go D1. And then like, if it doesn't work out, they snag them after the season, like snag them if they don't commit. Was like, what type of D3s were looking at you besides Cortland?
Every single D3.
Yeah.
Every single D3, D2.
Any NESCACs?
Any, what conference is that? Is that like Assumption?
That's like Bowdoin,
Assumption.
Bates, Williams. Pace
might be in there.
No, they're
Oh.
I think D2.
Pace is definitely D2, yeah.
No, but why didn't you go like out west?
Well, I don't know, because I feel like there wasn't too many.
Dude,
I would say the
Pomona?
recruiting.
If I could go back in time, like Pomona, like Claremont, McKenna, they have like campuses on the beach.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucked up. I tried to go to the best school I could. It was like Blue Mountain State with no chicks.
Oh, you want to go to Blue Mountain State?
No,
Go to Cortland.
Yeah.
Portland was Blue Mountain State. Portland was actually Blue Mountain State. C-State. I would say this. I joked around. Yo, if you're one of my teammates watching this right now, I would joke with some of the guys at practice, like during warm-ups before practice at Cortland. I would be like, bro, we're literally living in a real life Blue Mountain State episode right now. Like, is this not the most dope thing right now? Like, are you not having the best time of your life? Like, this is sick.
Dude.
Cortland had it all, man. Like, I know I shouted out Cortland earlier.
Yeah.
But I can't even express it enough. Like,
yeah. So the school that I went to was like, it was like hardo academically. So it was just like, and there was no party. There's no party. So like Cortica, for those who don't know, like they had to move it to Yankee Stadium, not because it is an important game, but because there would be routinely riots that would occur before the games. It's one of the craziest events of all time. They literally moved it to Yankee Stadium. It's a big game. It gets attended by a lot of people, but they needed a bigger venue because routinely like the whole frat row would get burnt down.
Clayton, bro. Clayton Avenue. I used to live right on Clayton. That's the street right where you walk down. Dark Horse is right there. Downtown, all the bars are right there. I forget what year it was. I forget exactly what Cortica was.
It was before your time, I think.
It was a little bit before my time, maybe like 4 or 3 years before I got there. But dude, like this Clayton Avenue, like it's a big hill.
Yeah.
It's a big angle, like big hill. And I think like, dude, they tipped like a car over and it was like rolling, bro, like rolling. Like, like
I remember just seeing a video.
And me being on that street, bro, that just hearing like that story in my mind, I was like, dude, no way. Like someone could have eased, like that's crazy. That's crazy.
I heard this story about someone like they put a burning chair in a shopping cart and they sent it down that hill into a crowd of people. I believe it. And it like got so wild. But I mean, Cortica, thank God they put it in Yankee Stadium. Yeah. You caught a touchdown in Yankee Stadium, didn't you?
Yeah, caught the only touchdown for Cortland.
It was a shitty
one of two only touchdowns. I think Jaden Alfano St. John, that's my boy right there, running back.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about someone who's going to have a year this year and another guy that might be on the map in terms of
can you bet
NFL looks. I don't think you can bet on D3.
Can you bet on D3? That maybe Cortica.
Maybe Cortica.
They might, yeah.
But I caught a touchdown in Yankee Stadium, hit the gritty a little bit. It was pretty fire.
Cool. Hey, not many people have grittied in Yankee Stadium. Right? I don't think any baseball player has grittied ever. So like, and I don't think Notre Dame in the Pinstripe
or
Bowl.
Syracuse, maybe. I might have been the only football player that grittied at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, dude. Hey, that's wild. So what is an NFL practice like compared to a Cortland practice? Was that like a big change for you? Because I remember, going like high school to D3 was, different. And like D3 practices from D1 practices are different. So that jump from D3 to NFL facilities, all that must have been wild.
It was definitely a wild transition. Like you mentioned there at the end, like the facilities.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Cortland, amazing facilities for a D3 school and everything. Like very blessed.
Right.
Athletic training, staff, everyone.
Yes.
The access to resources and technology, like blessed for that. But to go to an NFL franchise, Super Bowl winning franchise, like the Los Angeles Rams,
new facilities,
like that was a whole different level of just like having that ability to have all those resources at my disposal that was a whole new ball game. I couldn't believe it. The funny thing is though, is like a lot of guys, like a lot of the rookies, like, you know, they're coming from these big time schools, big time like SEC, Big 10, Big 12 programs or whatever. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. These facilities are like so cool, right? Like this is crazy right now. Like I'm like a kid in a candy shop. Like I can't even believe it. And they're like, dude, they're it's not even that like compared to like their schools. Cause a lot of times like the colleges, like those big time colleges have super nice facilities. Better. Cause literally better. And they're like, you can not that they weren't great, like they were still grateful for it, but like you could tell they were a little like, oh, like it's not as good as like what I had. And me, I'm just like, this is so cool right now. I can't believe it. At Cortland, man, I was lucky to get an shirt that said Cortland Athletics every year. One shirt. Yeah. To go from that to them throwing like 18 pairs of shirts, shoes, pants, hats, socks, cleats, more shoes. Like I was like, this is crazy, dude, man. This is like backpacks. I got the backpack right there. Another duffel bag.
Gear store.
Like crazy.
D3 boys know about the gear store. You have to buy all your shit before the season, and you're like, fuck. And then like you go to we have a whole locker room just full of free gear. Yeah. Like I couldn't even imagine how awesome that must have been. But like those guys, I mean, think about it. You come from high school, colleges recruit you and want you, and they try to get you. So like in some ways, there's probably a lot of those like D1, Power 5, top Bama, LSU facilities that are just insane to attract the best recruits. NFL teams, like they have to try, but like they don't have to really try like those teams. Cause unless, you know, if you're getting a free agent, that's the only time you have to attract people. Like, you can just be like, oh, you can do your own trainers. We'll like buy you shit for your house. So you can just do all your training in house.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah. Cause like with college, like you're trying to recruit, try to get them to come there. The NFL, it's like it's your privilege to come here. And like us, we drafted you. We're drafted you. Like we're paying you obscene amount of money, like to come here and play for us. Like you said, but free agents, that is kind of like, it's almost turns into like college recruiting once you get to like teams trying to sign free agents.
But there it's about the money.
And it is also about the money.
And then it's like, you can just do whatever you want. If you don't like our facilities, like we'll build you a facility like just for you.
Yeah.
But that's wild. I mean, so you get there, like, you know, what did other guys that you were in with, like, they're like, you're from where? You went to what school? D3?
That was always a funny discussion. Like, you know, like first time meeting guys or whatever. And that's one of like the first points you bring up. Oh, like what school did you play for? Where you from? Like this and that. I'm like, oh, like I'd always say like Cortland. And it always became the next time I talk to someone, I'd be like, yeah, like you probably don't know where I'm from, bro. But like, Cortland, it's a D3 school in upstate New York, and they're like, "Oh, like that's cool." I'm like, "Yeah, no."
They're like, "What the fuck?"
We won the national championship this year. Like, they don't.
That also is a huge feat. We need to get back to that for a second because, like, Mount Union, the fact that Cortland, like, what changed in Cortland to be able to compete for the national championship?
Great discussion right here. What changed was, well, we could bring it back all the way to my freshman year, right?
Yeah.
We had a whole different coaching staff my freshman year when I came in. All the guys that recruited me, Coach Mack and like his coaching staff, legendary, like Cortland legend, amazing coach, all those everyone amazing. He retires. Like he's been in the game. He's been coaching. I think he might have coached at Albany way years back. He was one of those like football lifes, like career long. Yeah. Was at so many schools, coaching in so many different places. For like I don't know how many years, but a great majority of his life, right? So his time came, he needed to retire, he retired. We go through the process of like Cortland, like I just got here as a freshman. The following year, like, all right, now the coaching staff like looks like there's going to be a new regime, new everything coming in. They go through the whole process of like trying to hire a new head coach, and all that process went on for however long, and we had hired the new coach, Coach Fitzpatrick, Kurt Fitzpatrick. He was originally from Morrisville, SUNY Morrisville. I think it's a SUNY school. I don't know, but they were in our conference or whatever. And I would say that is just when things started. Like, man, shout out to you, Coach Fitzpatrick. Yeah, he's a legend, man. The previous coaching staff was amazing right. Culture building, amazing everything. When Coach Fitzpatrick came in, like the level of the program, just like it shot up big time. Was Coach Fitzpatrick, was he a Cortland guy? He wasn't a Cortland guy. He had played quarterback in college way back. It's crazy because I know at St. John Fisher. Oh, played quarterback at St. John Fisher. Was a really good quarterback there for years. So that's where he had his start in football. And he was a coach at Morrisville. But dude, Coach Fitzpatrick, I can't express enough. Like, he is a huge part, maybe one of the biggest factors as to what's making Cortland as great as it is right now. Him and his whole coaching staff Coach Rochford, all the guys that he's hired and that surrounded this program. And he's a big X's and O's guy. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to work with the talent that he has, put them in the best positions to succeed. And that's what's made Cortland so great over these years. So he came in and kind of with his offense, his scheme and everything. And since then, like a couple of years went by, like, developing talent. It was probably one of those things where, like, it wasn't that the old coaching staff was bad. It was just like they've been there forever because they'd earned that right. It's like, you can't fire that coach. You got to wait for him to retire because he's earned to be there. And it's not a bad thing. Like, he's probably had success in the past, but it's like, you're like, well, Bill Belichick did get ran out of town, but you're like Joe Paterno in a way. Like, with a lot of these D3 schools, it's kind of like, we don't have to worry. Like, this guy's just going to play out the last of his hand. He'll know when it's time to go. Like, so, I mean, like, what was the toughest getting out of conference in the playoffs, in the D3 playoffs? What was that like? Like playing schools, like, what was the toughest competition you had in that playoff run? Talking about my senior year, like the national championship run. I mean, dude, we had some pretty electric games that senior year playoff run. Who did we play first? How am I drawing a blank on this? We played the first game. You probably took a stinger, so might took a shot that I don't really remember. But man, I mean, at home, Grove City. Oh, no, and we opened up on the road against Endicott. We had to travel down to Endicott, which honestly we were pretty surprised about. We thought, didn't they almost we thought disband? That we were going to get the home field advantage in that first game of the playoff run, us being such a high ranked team in the country. Did Endicott almost get rid of their football team, or was that Monmouth? I don't know. Oh no, it was Monmouth. Yeah. Monmouth got rid of their football team. So we're watching the I don't know if you've ever seen like one of those like NCAA like playoff seeding like tournament showcase shows or whatever. So we're there after practice. We're watching the D3 football basically like bracket. So it's basically like like on the screen, and they're showing the bracket like be made in real time, like the different seeds that everyone's getting and the different matchups. So basically like who we're going to be playing the first round of the playoff. And then we're almost assuming the way things panned out that regular season that we're going to be getting a home field. We should be getting a home field first round game. Yeah. We don't though. We see that we're heading to Endicott out in where is it? Massachusetts. Yeah. Out in the Commonwealth, it looked like when we were there. Like, we traveled there. That was a hard fought game. That game came down to the last whistle. Dude, man. So that was just a trap game. It was. And that's Western Mass, right? I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's like where I went to school. It's the fucking buttfuck nowhere. Western Mass. Like, it was a hard fought game, bro. These Boston guys, they had the accent or whatever. Like, every little play, like they're trash talking in my ear, going crazy. Like I'm just jogging back to the huddle. I'm like, these guys, like,
the Boston guys, they got their banter and their shit talking is next level.
Yeah,
they like Long Island's like they talk shit, but there's something. I went to school with like a ton of Boston guys, and they got rippers. They got like
different
shit that hurts.
Different.
It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Different. It's like, bro, like, nah. As soon as they said something, I forgot what they said, bro. Like, Mom, if you're listening, like, I don't even know what they said, but they said something about my mom. And that's when, like, throughout my whole football career, like, obviously, like, trash talk happens, like, on the field, right?
Endicott's in Beverly, Massachusetts. That's North Shore. That's really, that's on the way to New Hampshire. Like North Shore, they're tough motherfuckers that like talk shit. But yeah, so Endicott, then went to, when did you start playing Midwest teams?
Hold up. I got to go to game 2 then.
Yeah.
Because all right, game 2. All right, so we just get by Endicott, comes down to the last play. Like, this is a team that we definitely should beat. Like, I know talent-wise, we were so much better. Made a few mistakes earlier on in the game. Like, let them hang around. They got their home field and everything. Like, whatever. Comes down to the last play, we win that game.
Yeah.
By like the skin of the teeth, we win that game. And thankful for that. Game 2, back at Cortland against Grove City. Another hard-fought game. I had a pretty good game that game. I think I had like 100-something yards.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Should have had 2. The second one got called back for holding.
I'm going to have to post this interview in D3 football boards because I think there's a lot of people who have no idea what we're talking, who have no idea what we're going to talk about. But there's going to be a lot of dudes who
there's going to be some dudes that are like into this.
I'm gonna have to post it in the D3 football boards, like, recounting the Cortland Red Dragons national championship playoff run. The thing is, like, we're about to see D1 playoffs. And people don't understand how exciting that's going to be because we had the National Football Playoff, the College Football Playoff, and it was 2 games, 2 rounds, 3 games in all. This one, we're about to see something close to the D3 Football Playoff, and it's electric. You're going to have so many games down to the wire, just playoff atmosphere with college football. And I think that D3 players might have an edge when it comes to NFL playoffs because they understand the grind of a playoff run, which is something that people don't talk about.
Yeah, no, I mean, no doubt, because what has been the format the past couple of years for FBS playoffs has been just a couple teams basically. Yeah, it's more recently they made it a Final Four. Yeah, so there'd be one game and then now there's going to be 12. Yeah, it's a whole different when it's a 32 team bracket and it's almost like a March Madness kind of a thing. For football. So I think that's what it should be. That's what it should have always been.
It's going to be 12 teams.
And that'll make it so exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be 12 teams.
So exciting.
So getting into, did you play Mount Union or Whitewater?
Did not end up playing Mount Union. No.
Did you play Wisconsin Whitewater?
No.
So you were in
played Alma. Alma was a great kid. The Scots. Yo, you guys made a tweet. Barstool made a tweet of Alma, the Scots, right? The Scottish. Yeah. The head coach had the kilt on.
Oh yeah.
The picture of him in the kilt.
Yeah.
Did you see that? It was when you got a football game at 12, but
St. Patrick's Day.
But a hangout with the lads at the pub at 6. You're wearing the kilt.
Yeah.
I remember we won that game and I'm like, yo, all the boys on the bus ride. All the boys on the bus ride back are like, yo, look, this is the coach with the kilt on.
Dude, that's wild. Where's Alma College? Where are they located?
They're upper by Michigan, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think is that where they're at?
Yeah, they're in But yeah, so who'd you play in the championship again?
North Central.
Oh yes.
North Central. And North Central was the perennial kind of along with the Mount Unions of the world that everyone's heard of kind of. They were the D3 Alabama powerhouse. What Alabama was a couple years ago. I remember when I was in middle school, I remember Alabama would win the national championship every year basically. Yeah. And that was what North Central was to D3 ball most recently.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because they Mount Union was when I was in my 4 years, they won a bunch, and then North Central took over. But yeah, so dude, you were in a wide receiver room with a lot of interesting, very good players. Like, did they have? What did you learn with some of the best wide receivers in the game right now? You had Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. Like, how is that?
No, that was dope being in the same room as those guys. Like that's for sure. I mean,
were they probably were a little like they knew they didn't have to compete with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they were probably just like like some of the guys were trying to help you out.
Honestly, all the receivers were pretty chill. Even the guy like not Cooper, not Puka, like all those guys like D-Rob, Tutu, TJ.
Yeah.
Everyone in the receiver room, even all the other rookies, like, man, great people, great dudes. All the coaches in that room, Coach Yarbs, he's a legend, a legendary receiver coach. Like, he's known in the football world big time. Coach Rob, man, Coach Nate, all those guys are great. But to get back to, like, what I learned from those guys, like Cooper especially, man, dude, talk about like people like, you know, like when they talk about certain professional athletes, they just say he's a professional through and through.
Yeah.
Cooper, like there's no better way, like no other words can describe him, but he's just a professional through and through. Like talk about a guy that just through all these years and his greatness has not gotten bored with the process.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like he stayed true to that process that has reaped all these results for him. Super Bowl winning MVP champion, like all that, like throughout the years. And he kind of understood where I was coming from in a way, because he also came from a smaller school. I mean, not D3, it was still FCS, like D1, but still a smaller school compared to a lot of guys
Eastern
in the grand
Washington.
scheme of things. Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
But if that's one thing I learned with him is that, man, like he is not bored with the process, and he is still so fine-tuned into giving into the process and to putting in the work day in and day out.
Now, did they have you running? Were you guys playing the same position, or you were learning probably every position? But were you like did they kind of have you as almost like a Cooper Kupp stand-in a way?
No, technically, like I wasn't his letter position. I don't know if like, you know, football, like the X receiver, Z receiver, F receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
H is just like the H back, or if it's like 10 personnel or empty, like then H becomes a receiver comes in. I was playing the X, which that's what I always played in college. And the X, like I was basically always the backside of the formation, always getting like those one-on-one matchups. You were getting
the combo routes?
I was the backside of like a trips formation, like 3x1.
Holy shit.
I'm the guy to the boundary saying like, you got to beat this guy one-on-one, go make a play.
Yeah, we'll get to your touchdowns in
which
second.
Like I can do that every time. And like I'm going to praise the Rams as much as possible, but we can get into it. We can get into it.
So showing up to training camp, you know, you had to feel a little bit of a fish out of water. Like I know you wanted to be, you knew every day that you were going to be an NFL player. But like, were you like, holy fuck, I shouldn't be here? Like just because of the D3 thing, any imposter syndrome, or were you just like, I've been envisioning this every day, I deserve to be here?
It was definitely like, I've been envisioning this every day, I deserve to be here. But in the same sense, there was always that little bit of like in the back of my mind, like that little bit of like, you know, a little fear, anxiety, like kind of talk to me like, yo, like, are you meant to be here? Are you supposed to be here, Jay? Like, I don't know, man. Like you're here now. Like you're supposed to be like, but I would say like that was out of the picture, like almost right away. Once I was there and on the field with the guys and I'm looking around, I'm literally just like, oh, I belong here. This is right where I belong.
Wow.
When I start like the first practice, but I would say up to the point, like right after I got signed, after the draft, after the last round of the draft, right after I got signed. And, you know, like during those first couple days, the week before I go there, you know, everyone's like getting all like the love and support from everyone. Hometown, high school, all that. And I'm like, man, like I made it. I did it. But obviously in the back of my mind, I'm like the work is just starting. The work is really just starting. So there was always like that little bit. I was like, you know, I'm coming from D3. I know I have the athletic ability. I know I have the talent, but like, if I go there, like maybe I go there and I'm like, yo, this is a whole different.
Did you have like a welcome to the NFL moment in practice?
Not in practice. No, not in practice.
Even or even in the games?
I would say my welcome to the NFL moment when I got there was probably like during OTAs and all that was like the having to learn the playbook all over again.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm coming in from a D3 system, college with Coach Fitz, like great offense and pretty advanced. And I learned that. So I was learning that for a couple of years and I was like set in that system. Like I was confident in it. And to go from that to having to learn a whole, like Sean McVay and his offense. So, dude, we be motioning guys like all over. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of his play calls, but like, he's going, all right, guys, let's go. We got South right clamp, jacks right time, YMO, like all these terms, whatever.
You
got to like know it. You got to know it by heart. So when I was there in the spring, my biggest thing was like, I learned right away when I got there. I was like, all right, in terms of athleticism and talent and like just being like, in terms of all the physical with these guys on the field, I'm here. I belong.
Yeah.
Not only that, I think I could be one of the best.
Right.
Like I could say that with complete confidence.
Yeah.
The one thing at that time, I was like, damn, like this playbook, like I really got to study it and get it down. The months went by at OTAs. It was a good month and a half at OTAs. Then I come back home for the summer. Get another like month before we go back there for the start of training camp and everything. I took that time, like when I was back home for the summer, like I'm in that playbook every day. I'm in my backyard.
Yeah.
Like I'm having like my little brother, like, yo, read out the practice scripts that we got from OTAs. Like, so at OTA practice, like we get a script every day with all the play calls of the day during all the different team periods with all them written down. And I'm like, all right, I got to know these all by heart. Like I got to get in this right now.
Yeah.
Like I know I belong. Mentally, I got to make sure like I'm there.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing in my mind that I thought about, I was like, bro, you have the God-given ability, athletic wise and talent wise. You can't let something like as little as like the work ethic of like the mental get in between you and that dream.
Whoa.
So I made that a point to like really like dial in with that to the point where like on my phone, like I was rattling off like voice memos, reading the scripts. I'm on the way to lift at the gym at LA Fitness. And I, instead of like listening to music, I'm listening to the play calls. And I'm, in my mind, I'm envisioning, I'm like, all right, I'm lined up here. I got this. That's my assignment.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa,
that level.
Was, how much like install would there be for like, I don't know, week to week, like what would an install look like?
Like very fast. Like very fast.
Like the learning curve is so quick, like compared to like D3. Like I don't know how much install you guys had every week, but we'd have like a new package, a new, this couple new plays to beat a certain defensive alignment. But like how much more than D3? Like 5 times or
5 times?
5 times?
Yeah, it's almost like the whole playbook's thrown at you. It's like
new playbook every week.
It's like, let's go. Like get it done.
No repeat.
But I mean, there is like the coaches did as good of a job as they could for sure. Like the receiver coaches and all that.
Yeah.
To the point where it got to the point like once I was there for training camp, first week of training camp went by, I was like, all right, I'm officially at the point where I'm like, I can get in there with Stafford and the guys and be like, let's go, let's roll. And I did get in there a couple times with those guys.
Yeah.
And executed my assignment pretty well, honestly.
Well, what was Stafford's, how did Stafford?
Let me tell a funny story.
Yeah.
This, all right.
How did Stafford react to the whole D3 thing?
I mean, like, I didn't. Stafford. We'll get into it.
Okay.
I don't know. We haven't had too much dialogue, me and him, too much. The most I've heard from him, honestly, was when I was in the huddle with him.
Yeah.
Times. But all right,
he could be your dad, dude.
Dude, you knew this is before I was born, bro. like literally, or like I was like 3 years old and just got drafted to the league. So,
dude. Oh man,
he was one of those figures. We could get into like this whole like,
what's it like playing with dudes that are old? Like I still consider myself a kid. I don't know, like you just feel like a young guy. You're straight out of college. Like you're working with like a grown ass. Like you're playing football with a grown ass man. Like because college is like college. Like you're playing against college kids
and other kids.
Basically. Yeah. Like you're getting out there and there's just grown ass men.
Like grown ass men, bro, with like whole family.
Yeah.
Like they've just been doing like to them, it's really just like a normal like 9-to-5 job.
Like
To an
you
extent,
talk
it's like, oh yeah, that's what I do. Like
you don't even want to talk shit to that guy. Like, well, you're never gonna do that. You're like a
I
young
would
guy,
ask
but
my
like,
teammate.
yeah, but like, I feel that's like a hilarious dynamic that, I get because like I'm in a workplace and sometimes I get like confused because we do like sports stuff and then I'm just like going off on a guy with like kids and a wife and like we have to be like a little more thematic here. So I'm just like, fuck you. Like I don't know. Barstool's a crazy place, but like that must be wild to just be like in the huddle with a grown ass man. It's like,
yeah, no, it is, dude. And to get into a story of like being in the huddle with Stafford or whatever. So like I was saying before, this was back in OTAs before like I really was confident in the playbook and really knowing where like I had to be and what I had to do in terms of like getting the play call, being able to line up, being able to know what my assignment was or whatever. You know how I mentioned how like we had practice scripts and whatnot. So like in the meetings earlier on in the day before practice, it would be like, all right, going over the practice script and the different plays. And my coach would be like, all right, JJ, you're probably going to be in on this play, but running this or whatever. So I would have like that time to be like, all right, that's the formation. That's the play. I know what I got to do. So once we're at practice, like, know what I got to do. We're at practice. And even so, like the plays are going by a team period. Stafford and those guys, they're running their plays. On the sideline, coach is like, all right, yo, JJ, you're going to go in here, right? Remember this play. Like reads it off. It's like, yeah, you're going in for this play on the script. Like, all right, word. Plays done. Running in there. Tap out whoever. I think I might have tapped out D-Rob. Like, yo, extra here. Get into the huddle with like Stafford, Cooper, Puka, like all like the starting guys, all the guys.
Yeah.
I'm in there and I'm ready to hear the play call that I've already like kind of pre-memorized.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to memorize everything just so like I wouldn't even sometimes. One time I didn't even get the play one time and my coach was like, what the fuck? You know the play? Sorry, I memorized it.
And I'm in the huddle, right? And you hear like McVay through Stafford's like earpiece in the helmet because all the quarterbacks in the NFL, like they have an earpiece.
Right.
And they're in constant communication.
He's going like this.
McVay calling the play calls. Yeah. I mean, in practice, it was not loud.
Yeah.
But like everyone in the huddle can kind of hear the play call. So you hear McVay rattling off the play call so you can kind of get a head start on like, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing the play call. I'm like, all right, weird. Like, already know it. It's calling. And he's like, you know what? Actually, nah, like, fuck this, man. They're like, we're going to go off script here. And I'm in the huddle with them. And I'm like, my heart starts pounding, bro. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
oh yeah.
I was ready to be in on this kind of determined. Yeah. Like, I know what I got to do.
Oh, that's crazy.
McVay's like, yo, we're going to go off script here. And I was like,
did McVay say off script?
Yeah, he said it to Stafford. Then he calls some random play, random formation and whatever. And I knew to line up and I knew the play. So I was fine.
And you were like,
I was like, holy shit. Like,
you think they were testing you?
Maybe I could see.
I could
see how they probably do put guys in situations like that to see how they react like that.
Yeah.
I could see how that could be like a kind of like a test.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Like we're going to throw this guy in for this play. And,
yeah.
We know he's like memorizing the plays.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can just put him on his toes.
So I execute that first play fine. I'm going back to the huddle. They're not subbing me out. A lot of times, like after I get one play, they're going to sub me out or whatever.
They're keeping you in.
So I'm like, I don't know what the script is either now. Like I'm in for the second play. Get the play call, bro. I know the formation. I know where I got to line up. I'm in like a pack left, like a bunch left formation with Cooper and Puka. I'm jogging out. Like I know the formation, know where I got to line up, but like I don't necessarily like. I'm like I don't know. I'm like yo, Coop, what do I got? Coop, what do I got?
Yeah.
And Coop's been in that.
Does he get you?
Years. Yeah, he's a.
Oh, he hooked you up.
He says like, bro, he's like, yeah. And all those guys, even the coaches would preach like, yo, if you don't know something, communicate, be on the same page with everyone. Like you're going to get more kudos for literally stopping practice, being like, yo, listen, like, I don't know the play. Like, what's the play? Like, coach me up than you are if you're going to let the play happen and not know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
But so like, I'm like, yo, Coop, what do I got? Like, I'm like, all right, wait. Execute my assignment. And then I came out. So like, that was just that was a cool little story, I guess. Like,
no, that actually like, because some like, it's crazy that the NFL's like that because there's some colleges and high schools where you get yelled at if you're like, yo, I don't know the fucking play. It's like, you don't know the fucking play? Like, you got this playbook? It's like, dude, what if this happens in a game? You can't yell at me during the game. Like, we got to figure out a way to like get around this.
It's your job. If anything, practice is the time to like, like practice
dude.
Makes perfect. Like, make those mistakes. Like, that's how you're gonna grow.
So, the preseason games, you got a little burn. You had some highlights, but did you have any welcome to the NFL moments in those preseason games?
I'll tell you, yeah, the first game, against Dallas at SoFi, I came in. I would say the welcome to the NFL moments was even like on those blocking plays when I had to come down and block some safeties, like coming down and crashing down. And I came in, I was blocking those guys like a menace. I had put up some good stuff on tape. But to say if I didn't feel that, I felt it. Like coming down and blocking those guys, like even like in my head, basically, like literally getting popped. Like coming down, making a block on a safety, but like kind of getting popped in the head while I'm still blocking them.
Jeez.
So that was my welcome to where I was like, wow, like my bell, like I didn't even get really hit, but my bell is rung right now.
Yeah.
But after that first game, I literally was like, that's what I need to get into the game.
Yeah.
So that second game against the Chargers, I was like, I can't wait to go out there and block them and get popped. So then I'm like, all right, we in this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, we playing ball now.
Do you see yourself taking your head, like seeing the level of the hit in the NFL? Because it's more than college. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially at the D3 level.
Yeah. Would you see yourself taking your head more out of blocking? Because, a lot of guys put their nose into it.
Yeah.
Like, just like every time you're going to go head to head.
Mhm.
Like, do you see yourself adjusting your blocking technique?
Nah, I would see myself being even more physical and kind of like leaning into it and being like, let's go.
Like
let's
we're going to
roll.
headbutt every time.
Like there was a toss play where I had to kind of like crack a nickel backer.
Yeah.
I had a great block there. I locked him down. Like,
Dude.
even that first game against the Cowboys, bro, like, there were so many times on film, bro, where no safety help.
Yeah.
I'm running by guys. Like, it felt easy, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not delusional when it comes to my abilities. And I do realize in the sport of football, like, there's so much more to like.
You got burners.
There's so much more to like, just like that receiver is open. Like, people are probably watching the broadcast be like, yo, Jay's open. Like, how is he not throwing it to him every time? Like, I know it can't be that case because, like, dude, the quarterback's going through his progressions, so many external factors like the rush, the pressure, and all that.
Yeah,
but it was almost to the point where it was like, all right, like I was beating these guys on routes consistently, and I wasn't getting too many opportunities.
Yeah.
And that game against Dallas that we won came down to the wire. I don't know if you know that, right?
13-12
through the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
The play before, it was just through the one-hander. It was kind of like just through my hands, just kind of overthrew me. But there was that fourth down there on that drive where I work a release at the line. I get right by this guy. This guy's holding me, like pulling me down. And I still separate by like 5 yards wide open down the field. Like if he sent it, would have scored. Threw an interception, but kept the drive alive because they called PI on the guy that was holding me.
Oh, nice.
Called PI. So I was applying pressure on guys downfield consistently, and that kind of helped us drive down the field and come out on top. Also, Steady B, legend.
That's
stuck in there, bro. Talk about just being composed no matter what fucking happens in a game. Stetson Bennett, man.
Bro, is
legend for that.
I mean, he's played in some huge games in his life.
Yeah.
Like some games that like, a preseason game is probably nothing to him compared to like the national championship game. Like what, how many does he have? 3? 2?
Actually, yeah.
He's 3, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like that's like, so he doesn't give a fuck.
He's just going to let it rip. You can tell he's got that gunslinger mentality.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some crazy stories about Stetson Bennett. Just... I bet. Next question. but so talk me through catching a touchdown in the NFL.
That game-winning touchdown.
The game-winning touchdown. Like you're torching them all game. Are you like, yo, Stetson? Like like look at me.
I'm not saying that, but I mean through the week in practice, like. Through the building, like, we're having breakfast, lunch each day or whatever. I see him in the cafeteria. I'm like, yo, Steady B, all we need is a deep one. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'll be there. Get me there. And I had become close with a couple of the rookie offensive linemen at the time. They were also getting burned in the preseason. Yeah. Shout out Bo Limmer. Yeah. KT Leviston, Justin Dietich. Those are like my 3 main boys that I would say like I made friends with. Like, 3 of the linemen. Also rookie receivers, Jordan Whittington, Sam Wiglis, and Drake Stoops. They're all still there now. Yeah. Shout out those guys, great guys.
They're practice squad?
Stoops and Wiglis are practice squad, and Whittington, they drafted. He might definitely see some burn this year. Mm-hmm. But what I was getting to. Oh yeah, like even like my guy Bo Limmer, the lineman that I made friends with, he was saying, he's like, yo, I'm telling Steady, JJ goes deep, just send it deep, And you know, I'm kind of planting that seed in his mind. And we had done it in practice multiple times, all the way through from OTAs, all the way through training camp. There's been a couple times where we've run the same play, basically where like it's a deep shot to me, basically like that's kind of like the concept of the first read. Just get it out to me, and I'm literally
rage route.
Basically, yeah. And we've connected on that. Like, I don't know if you saw his interview after the game, but they had asked him about that, and he kind of basically is kind of reiterating what I'm saying right now. Is like we've connected on it a couple times. Like,
damn.
So when that play call did get called, I was like, it's go time. It's practice right now. So it's what we've been.
Did you just say the play call?
No, I'm not gonna say the play call.
No, but I think you just said it.
No, I didn't.
Okay. The yayo?
No.
Okay.
I can say it right now though.
No. I was like, do we have to bleep that if you just said the play call?
I'm a man of integrity. Yeah.
Okay.
None of that.
Has
but
anyone tried to
when I had got the play call in the huddle, I was like, yo, let's go. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. If there was ever a time, it's right now. And I know, like, dude, no one can run with me, bro. Like, if there's no safety help, like, and a quarterback, there hasn't really been a quarterback in my entire life that's overthrown me.
Are you one of these guys that if you put a GPS speed tracker on you, you're the fastest guy on the field?
And they had done that. I was the fastest on the Rams.
You were faster than Cooper Kupp because that's how they found
way
Cooper
faster than Cooper Kupp on the
Coop. Really?
Yeah,
because that's how they found Cooper Kupp.
Coop's not that. Coop is still elite in it, but
right. He's made have lost a step.
Yeah.
Like
I was the fastest on the Rams.
Yeah.
And OTAs every single week on the jerseys, they'd have the trackers, right?
Yeah.
And they track everything, like your steps, your yards, your stride length, like miles per hour. And every week in OTAs, there'd be a leaderboard, every position group, like fastest miles per hour each week.
Yeah.
I was like consistently the fastest receiver.
Whoa.
Then at the end of OTAs, they did a leaderboard fastest on the team. I was the fastest. So at any one point on the field throughout all the OTA period, I hit the fastest top speed on the field out of any player on the field, which is 22.4 miles an hour.
If Belichick
game speed.
If Belichick was still in the league, he'd pick you up.
Have a field day with me.
Yeah, he'd be.
If you're a team right now, you'd be crazy not to pick me up. Honestly, I'm not delusional when it comes to my abilities. Like, yeah, man. I mean, just being out on that field, like it would be one thing. Like I said, like, you know, if there was a welcome to the NFL moment.
Yeah.
It would be one thing if like I went and I was like, all right, it is different. Like, I don't know. Like,
it was fun. I'm glad I got here.
Like I'm glad I got the experience. Like I can kind of compete. Like, no, like I'm there. I really believe like I'm one of the guys. I could be one of the guys. So that's what kind of hurt. And I was kind of super surprised that I wasn't at least like on the practice squad, you know,
dude.
like,
I'm banking,
especially being the amount of athleticism and potential that I have is crazy. So
I mean, we were tracking you the whole time. We were like, dude, he's got to make the team. I mean, you're gonna make a team and you're gonna have success. You're gonna have success in the NFL. And just when that happens, you need to come back on the podcast.
Oh, dude, I'm coming right back. Bro. Come right
they're
back.
Like, even when you get a little success, you like we know it's gonna happen. Yeah. We bought. You know, we bought low and we're going to sell high.
Yes, sir.
No, but that must have been insane. So you catch the game winner, you know, do you pay attention to social media?
After that game at the time, yeah, it was a cool.
Did people find your Twitter and Instagram?
Instagram, bro. I see all these comments, all the tweets.
They're like,
it was awesome.
I mean, that must have been insane.
I got a new account following me. It's called JJ Laap Worshipper.
What? Who made this? Some kid in LA?
Probably some little kid, bro. It had to be some little kid.
Dude, how's LA? Like, had you ever been to LA before that?
That was my first time.
So you just, because LA's fucking weird, dude.
It is an interesting
dude. And there's TikTokers out there and shit. Like, it's fucking weird. Real weird. Like, I went out to LA and it was the first time I went out to LA. I went out to LA to visit family when I was younger. But like they lived outside of the city. I went there for the Super Bowl and I went to that Saddleback Ranch place where the TikTokers hang out. It was like, just because I was with Barstool, it was one of the weirdest places ever. It was just like, you know, like all these different TikTokers and they're like posses. And it was weird. I don't know. I don't think you went out in LA while you were out there because you were grinding, but there's nothing there. Like,
I didn't get to really experience too much of like the extracurriculars in LA, but I could definitely see how it is a unique place.
It's a different vibe than New York.
Different vibe.
It's like there's like a underbelly That just is weird. I don't know. Like we talked about this on the last episode about how a lot of people go to LA with no plan.
Just like, oh, I'm going to make it. Let's go. We're going to LA.
Like you kind of need a plan to go to New York City.
Yeah.
Like, you grew up going to the city. Yeah. Like there kind of isn't that element, but it's weird. The Scientologists get you out there?
No, Tom Cruise did not approach me about any Scientology when I was out there.
You made the team. They're going to get you.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So what are things looking like now? You have an agent, right?
Yeah, I have an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can listen to this interview if he wants to.
John, I hope you're listening, man.
No, but if John wants to listen to the interview, make sure that, I think you should send this interview to,
right?
I didn't expect you got the grind. Like I'd fucking sign you in a second. I mean, like what the fuck? This guy's the fastest guy on the Rams.
No, and I'm not even I'm not delusional. I'm not blowing smoke. This is literally this is just a fact of the matter.
Cooper Kupp. That's why they picked him up because he was the fastest dude at the Senior Bowl. GPS speed.
Really? I don't know.
I think his speed not looking too good.
No. I'm sure at the time he was right there, but it just goes to show you there is obviously so much more to the position than just being fast and speed.
Well, it's also,
but I know I have all those other intangibles too. So it's I feel like I could be the next kind of Deshaun Jackson type of receiver in the league.
Dude,
I just didn't get a chance, bro. I mean,
no way. You don't have
throughout the preseason.
Like
I have burners.
You have burners like that, Deshaun Jackson burners.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've never seen. I'm gonna
get a tracker. I'm gonna go to the track and run 23 miles an hour. And I'll send a video. You guys,
dude, we'll put it on the audio crack account. Absolutely. Dude, I've never heard, honestly, I've never heard a white guy talk about their speed like you do. I mean, I think the only other guy I've ever heard talk like that is that guy who runs track in Georgia. Who's that? You know what I'm talking about? That white guy that is super fast. What the fuck's his name? But that's...
No, I don't know. But like I said, it would be one thing.
Matthew Bowling.
It would be one thing if I was I don't know, I don't know if I could, but it's a matter of fact, dude, I got targeted 3. I didn't really get an opportunity. My coach was like,
wait, you only got 3 targets?
3 targets
the whole preseason?
2 catches and a 50-yard game-winning touchdown.
Wait, you caught every target?
Besides the third one, which was through my hands. Oh, which was Cowboys,
that was
a little
PI.
overthrown.
And that was a PI.
No, this was later in the drive.
Okay.
But the PI kept that drive alive and why we won against the Cowboys. Yeah.
Dude. Someone give this guy a shot.
Nah, for real. You're not going to be disappointed. Let's go.
Which coach did I meet? Which NFL coaches have I met in my take times? Actually, I never spoke to any of them. I was just there for the interview.
But man, no, you mentioned track guys or whatever. Even Cortland, Jack Flood. I don't know if you've seen his stuff.
Was he a track guy?
He was a track guy. Does
you played lacrosse
stuff, kind of building his own personal brand on Instagram. He's a cool dude. Never met him. Jack Flood, shout out to you. Also, you're pretty dope. Aljamain Sterling, another Cortland guy, UFC champion. Aljamain Sterling.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Cortland, man.
Wow.
C State.
Did you you played lacrosse in high school?
My senior year, yeah.
Just your senior year?
Just my senior year. I mean, I played when I was growing up. Junior high school, I stopped at JV and that's when I fell in love with the gym and everything. I was like, I'm going football. Literally, that's when I said every single day went by in my mind. I was like, I'm going to the league.
So you played lacrosse. How did you do lacrosse wise your senior season?
My senior year, I mean, I didn't get too much burn.
You were just hanging with the boys.
I was hanging with the boys.
You were just hanging
because we were big lacrosse school, Ward Melville in high school, one of the best in the country at the time, and still even very respected. I mean,
Long Island lacrosse is the South Florida or Texas of football.
It was every year if we didn't win at least the Long Island, because they had state championship in lacrosse though.
Yeah.
They had that in lacrosse, and we'd win states almost every year.
Yeah.
If you'd make it to the LIC and you lost, it was it's a bad year.
Yeah.
Making it all the way that far.
Yeah, there's states for lacrosse.
There is.
Upstate can compete lacrosse wise. Yeah. Because you're playing some Onondaga high schools. That's a whole different breed of lacrosse. Right. Check out the Thompson brothers if you want to see what that is.
Dude, the Albany products.
Yeah.
Thompson brothers, the two Native American guys. They're dope. Oh, there's 3 now.
Yeah, well they're
dope.
So it'd be crazy because you'd see I heard some legendary high school games where you see Thompson brothers type players from upstate would play Long Island guys.
Yeah.
And it would be 2 way different playing styles and whoever got the best that game won, but they just never knew how to game plan for each other. It because it's more athletic versus crazy skill and all that stuff.
Towards like stick skills.
Like
and all
box
that. Yeah.
across type. Because they
Yeah.
play all that up there.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. JJ, you have anything else you want to tell us? Dude, someone's got to pick you up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right?
where would you want to land?
Man, I mean, obviously,
Which scheme do you think you fit best? You're coming from a McVay system.
from a McVay kind of a system.
Would Niners?
Maybe, dude. I mean, any team.
You get
any team that wants a guy that could take the top off at any time and just give me a chance to do so.
Yeah.
If I got more chances to do so, I do it more so 9 times out of 10.
What? Has anyone tried to buy the playbook from you yet?
Like guys trying to get like insider.
Yeah, I heard that happens. Like they go to after guys who get cut and they're like, yo,
No.
here's $50K for the playbook.
I'm sure, but I haven't been approached about that, and I would never do.
Yeah, of course you would.
Even guys
never
like,
do
even like, oh, yo, like, what about this bet? Like, oh, you think I'm just like, dude, just
Yeah, don't get involved in that.
Not worth it. Like, because right now, like I said, bro, I know in my soul, like I'll be back on another NFL team sometime if it's not this season, it
Yeah.
could be at any time. A guy gets hurt, guy got to get signed, whatever. Man, if it's not this season, I know next season, like I'll get a shot at a training camp somewhere and I'll do this again.
Dude,
Maybe I get more opportunities. I just know in my soul I'll be back because I know I belong. Clearly, like I know for a fact I deserve to be on the Rams right now, but I'm not meant to be on the Rams. Whatever God's plan is, like clearly I'm not meant to be. Right now, maybe like I'm having this podcast with you. Like this is dope. Like one door closes, another one opens. But I know like I'm not closing that door anytime soon.
Dude.
I'll be back. Even if it's a UFL, if I got to go dominate that league for a little bit before I go back, like
If
I'll be
you're
back.
like,
I'll be back.
you're definitely gonna be back, but just something to think about.
Absolutely.
Florence, Italy, free villa, play for the Florence Unicorns or whatever the fuck their team is.
I don't know, me. I don't know
Dude,
if I
they
go
fucking
overseas
hook you
just
up.
yet.
Not just yet,
They do?
just yet.
They hook you up for like
the
living
fuck
and
up.
everything.
I want.
I can find a nice Italian girl.
Yes, my buddy played for the Coitbus Crayfish, which is in fucking Germany. And like, if I didn't work, I worked this job, but like, I was like, yo, dude, like I know that. So I like, went abroad. Do people in Cortland do that? Where they go abroad for a semester?
I had a teammate that I played with in the past. Yeah, he was in Germany, played in the GFL.
No, but did they go abroad for like a semester?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure many Cortland, they have all
None of
abroad
the athletes
programs.
did.
I don't know because they were busy with athletics, all
So
that.
in my school, we did that. So I was in Florence. I was like talking to the team there
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, fuck, I should like go do this. They hook you up, but it's hard to make the team because they only allow like 3 Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So like you definitely would make it, with your caliber, 100%. Like I'm not like, so dude, they hook in they'll pay you too. You can make like $150K a year.
Really?
Yeah.
And they
Like,
pay for your housing.
Pay for your housing. Like if you're really,
That's
really good,
interesting.
go to the top leagues in Germany. I'd start out in Florence just like to have some fun there.
That's one of those like way down the line.
Way
kind
down
of
the line.
things,
But like that's what,
But I would say that the prospect of that, the
Dude,
reason
just
why I wouldn't do that
for a
is
lifestyle?
because it's more enticing for the lifestyle. Kind of a
You
thing.
still, by the way,
right now I'm more
don't
so
give
it's
up
got to
on
be
the
about football.
I
It's
like,
gotta be
I don't
about
want,
football.
I don't want to
Yeah.
disincentivize your dream, but if you're like,
No, listen, I'll never. Football, I will be back playing football. I'll be employed playing football. If not, though, I've always been the guy to joke with my friends. You be the first to tell you. Even Cooper Cup, when we were at dinner, he asked me, he's like, yo, JJ, what would you be doing if you weren't playing football? And I was like, Coop, honestly, bro, I don't even know, man. I'd probably be like on an island somewhere, like chilling, just vibing.
Yeah.
Put my fedora on.
oh, what, like fucking,
Like literally, like just go travel. Like,
dude, fucking, I've seen your Instagram. You're one of these ripped guys. You're one of these like low body fat guys. Just like apply for The Bachelor or some shit like that.
my boy Mason actually jokes around. He's like, dude, just you should be the Bachelor. You totally could be the Bachelor.
Just fucking do
Be on
some of that
show.
shit. Try out reality TV. Just have some fun. You definitely like because they're all like made a roster or like that's like all their stories. But or just go play dude. I just go play in Italy. Just like get paid to be on vacation and play football.
Yeah,
like that'd be sick. I had a coach who would do that in the off season. He'd go play in like Turkey in different places. But trying to think. So are you having any interest? Like what's like? Do you think is there any hope for this year?
There's definitely hope for this year. I mean, like I said, at any time could get a call. I could get a call right now. Could get a call right now.
Calls?
No, but I could.
What's your fascination with Atlantic City?
Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily have a fascination with it.
Why do you keep going to Atlantic City?
I've only been there once, actually.
When
This was this past summer with some of my boys, 4th of July weekend. I'm assuming you saw that on my Instagram.
No. I mean, shout out Nikki Quinn. He told me that you're in Atlantic City this past week.
Yeah, this past week?
Yeah.
No.
Over Labor Day.
No.
Oh, okay. So then he got his.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yo, check your sources. Nikki.
I was like, this guy keeps going to Atlantic City. All right, JJ, thank you so much for coming on. Best of luck with your career. Hope you get on a roster this year. And look, if you get on a roster this year, you're going to catch another game winner. I guarantee it. So you have to make a promise. If you catch a game winner, if you make a highlight play and you make the news, you got to 1, come back on the podcast. 2, maybe just shout out Audio Crack.
I'll be back.
I'll be
back and I'll do that. God bless. Thank you.
Daddy used to knock them down, yeah, and I should have known not to mess around with the nightlife or the bright lights.